Hi, everybody. We are running a little experiment for you today in what I call golden co-creation or new ways of working in the fifth dimension, and really maybe old ways of working because we think this has been around maybe in old Egypt or maybe the Essenes or whoever knew already how to work like this. And we're relearning and remembering how to work like this. And so we would like to make a little experiment in doing this live for you, the way we would work together. And we have not done this before. This is going to be very authentic, very real, very fun. Be curious and fascinated and just follow what you can see and just pick out the things that might be meaningful for you in what we say. So what our mission is today is we will explore together the following question and get guidance, higher guidance for how might we travel best in these turbulent times. And this is something that we're both experiencing, like really authentically, the turbulent times around us, partially in our life, partially around us. And so we will explore that together, but with the co-creation, not just amongst the two of us, but in co-creation with the spirit world or the higher world. And you will find that we're maybe using different terminology because we both have our own concepts. And that's the beauty of it. But we will still work together and feel each other. And you'll see, no matter what the terminology is on a mental level, we will be united. And this is what we're exploring. So maybe we start with a short introduction of both of us so you know who is doing this experiment and maybe why. Right? You want to start? Say also your name and how to pronounce it so people know it, particularly in other not English-speaking countries.
Okay, Jayahnia. Hello, everybody. I'm Ocha, and I'm a messenger for the Mother Earth, and I teach what the Mother Earth guides me to teach. I've had a lot of it change in my life right now, so much change like we all have. So I need some guidance, and this is how I live. And I know this is how you live, Jayahnia, is to receive guidance, and we have to trust that. But we are also learning too. So every time life feels uncertain, there's, change in your life, it really is a challenge as well. So I just want to admit that, and knowing that I'm not alone, and that I really am co-creating my life with my beautiful councils of light and with the Mother Earth is just so supportive. So thank you, Jayahnia, for organizing this.
Excellent. And so myself, for those who don't know me, my name is Jayahnia Elsiaan Kumara. And my main task is to bring light to the earth, in particular by illuminating people and projects and places. So reignite the light that's originally there and the potential of light. So they shine again and they walk their path of light and their power with their love. And that's the key thing. So bringing light and igniting light on the earth for a new earth. And in that process, I also work with lightful ways of working. So we're working with light teams, basically. And they can be, like Ocha was saying, they can be kind of in the cosmos or heavens above us, if you want to imagine it this way. Or they can also be in the earth or inner earth or in earthly realms. And who knows in what other realms. So that's beyond our mental understanding. But I think when we go into intuition and trust, all of a sudden it comes to us and we don't need to mentally have it all sussed out. So that's what we're trying to do with a really concrete little task that is getting answers on how to travel in troubled times. Yeah. So how would you normally go about it? Okay, so we will just talk to each other now. As per normal, we will kind of almost ignore that you're all there and watching us and really be with each other. So you might find that our eyes are really focusing on each other. And this is the real thing. It's not faked or staged. So what would you normally do if you wanted to get guidance, higher guidance?
Well, the most important thing for me is, because I'm an embodied channel, so the most important thing for me, and probably most other people, is to actually go through a process so that I can feel my family of light with me, because at the end of the day, we're going into Holy Communion with these ones that support us to connect to the higher consciousness. So I'd like to perhaps, if we co-create this, activating our central pillar and connecting to the sun above and the central sun, etc., to source, and go down into the earth core, then I'd like to just receive from the Mother Earth. So to go down deep inside the inner earth into her heart and to receive that way. And Jayahnia, you might like to do that too, to start with.
Definitely. Definitely. I think it's all about opening the entire connection, as much up into suns or even moons. Today is full moon.
Yeah.
To the lights that kind of accompany us or gift us with their light, all the many. And the same as with the inner earth. And because otherwise it doesn't feel grounded to me. If it's not going, and I'm here to do change on the earth. So I need to manifest it, and it needs to be practical. And so for me, the earth and anchoring it in the earth and with Mother Earth and for Mother Earth and all her children is essential. Otherwise, it's just floaty and, how would you say, just floats, and it's a little bit inaccessible and also not very impactful for the earth. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. The mind needs to drop down into the heart where that multidimensional access is. It sits right there. So the way for it to happen is to actually drop down into the earth. So if we can drop our energy down into the earth, then we'll stabilize our energy and our mind will settle. So so let's do that, and then we'll see what happens after that, because we could actually then perhaps go into the heavens and receive there. Either way, the guidance we know is going to be, we're going to access the higher guidance. And
it will probably complementary, right? So we might get some little pieces and gems from more the heavens and some other pieces and gems from the earth. And then together they form a puzzle and a fuller piece of information, because the world is multidimensional and everything is so complex. It's actually good, I think, to go to different places and get different perspectives and different wisdom. So I think this is how it should be, almost. Now, as I'm saying it to you and as we're talking about it, becomes clear this is how it should be. Asking only in one place is just asking only in one place.
Yes, we will see what happens, because we might get an idea of, like, we have to do what we need to do to be in unity, like to bring all of our being into unity, so that then in that unified, untroubled, unchallenged, no time, no space, we can receive the highest guidance that doesn't have that interference of the day-to-day mind. So
yeah.
That's our
why don't we just start? I would love it if you would guide us with the connection, particularly because your connection to the earth is so strong. It's going to strengthen my connection. And so, if you like that. Right.
Yeah. Okay. And so just taking some deep breaths. And bringing our awareness into our heart flame in the center of our chest. And we connect in to this eternal state of being that our heart flame is a doorway into. as we honor our heart now. We honor our support system there to stay in the present moment. As we call to our divine presence to be with us now. And I'm calling to my Syrian higher self to merge with me now. Jayahnia, you may call to your higher self too.
I'm calling to my Syrian higher self and also my Pleiadian higher self that brings so much softness to the clarity of my Syrian higher self, and I love them together.
Let's just do some sounding now to call all of the different parts of ourselves into our heart so that we don't have that scattered feeling. So we're bringing all the different parts in, we're calling them all in with our sound, our light language. Gyanange aluro namyangangi Gyalaranangangoro mangangange alunuruni Muranangalohi analaui anangi Yanaloro ngangalarohi anangali
Nuayata maitando korai Nangaende salaya mokuatai No mayate kambundai tale No hum No hum. And I just want to say that often my sound is generally higher, and I can already feel your beautiful presence and connection to the earth that you've cultivated for such a long time. And I could feel my own energy grounding deeper through your presence and bringing slightly deeper sounds. They do come sometimes, but today was felt like it was flowing in and through and down. So this is a magic already to see how your presence is enhancing me, augmenting me a little bit. So very fascinating.
Yes, and your angelic presence is expanding me. And this creates my heart to open more and to accept the inclusion of others in this session together. Jayahnia, thank you. And our heart expands into a sphere of light. As our awareness into the flame expands the flame, and our heart now holds us truly Just extending the light of our heart up through our upper chakras to the sun. And to the central sun. And let's go further to the great central sun, Elsiaan of the Pleiades, reaching up through all the suns to source. Traveling through this solar pathway of light to source and drawing it down through our soul star, our crown, brow. Just breathing it into the brow to saturate it with this solar light. Expanding the brain, nourishing it. And drawing it down through into the throat. Releasing any tension there. Down through the thymus. And into the heart. And breathing the solar light into our heart. And now going through the lunar pathways of love light, sending our heart flame light up to the moon now. Nina yangia lutari elengiele giele gielo lo 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 lo. Alamale galo lo 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 lo. Amale ale alo lo 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 lo. Ma la 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 ma le la le la le la le. Wa la le ale 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 ale. Can step in any time, Jayahnia.
Kind of feeling the like two different pillars of light, and I find the moonlight is always a little bit softer. This is what you call love light, and the other one is clear, crystal clear light almost, and so beautiful to ground it slowly, step by step, and have the sun or the moon shine literally at the chakras and feel them being grounded. So we're inviting even people who might be listening or watching that you allow yourself to have that experience with us, because it's enhanced if we're all doing it together, and you can benefit from our presence. So yeah, I feel filled with lunar and solar light in my heart, and will happily travel with you into the earth now.
And going down, extending the light down into the solar plexus and the hara through the belly button, the sacral, the belly, the base chakra just below the genitals, down through the area between the knees, just below the feet, and into the earth. Seeing this central river of light as you are guiding it down through all the worlds of the earth now. And we just see it as light going down, 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 like an elevator, down deep inside the earth now, through all the rocks, through all the light realms.
And I'd like to add a little technique that I've received maybe 18, 24 months ago. And that is to send another technique of sending the light down is if you imagine that we're weaving like a rug, and you're sending these little, in German they're called ships, weaving ships from left to right and left to right, and they weave a connection. In the same way, we have these little weaving ships that weave threads of gold and light down to the earth through all the layers to Mother Earth's heart. And then she sends the little weaving ship, light weaving ship, back up to the heart, and then we send it back down. And there's this very lovely, playful weaving process. So whatever process works for you, that's my little process sometimes, particularly when people are not so used to grounding this whole big river of light yet. This is a gentle message. So the tiny little light ships or light weaving ships. So I'm there and connecting with Mother Earth really in two ways, either weaving little golden spirally threads around her heart and really anchoring. And sometimes I just let her hug me. I just lie in her arms like a baby at the bosom, just for a few moments, and really experience and receive that nurturing love in the heart of Mother Gaia. And it brings me a lot of peace and stillness. It stills my mind, my whole nervous system. And I feel hugged by the mother of mothers on earth. Yeah.
That's beautiful, Jayahnia. So I'm resting in the void, which is this space of no time, no space inside the very core of Gaia's heart. And I know that I could just as easily step into a crystal cave, and that is there at the same time, this crystalline cave of Gaia's heart. It's connected to all the crystals of the earth. And at the same time, I could be connecting to a chamber that connects to all the earth portals. And so we are resting inside the frequency that is always there, no matter what form this connection takes. And we call to the Mother Earth, to Gaia. We call to her now.
And I step by your side in this beautiful space as your sister, bringing the question for the wisdom of Mother Earth and the earthly realms. And our question was, how might we travel best in turbulent times, or what seems turbulent to us? Ash'ania ilamai. Dear Mother, I'm asking you, Ash'ena li'ikia, for your wisdom. And I ask with an open heart and open inner ears. Eshna eki. We ask together. So I also feel, okay, I felt earlier already, like a sphere or a pillar in addition to our individual pillars that was uniting us, because in that pillar or field, the shared mission of asking this simple question was held. So I can feel us being united there in front of her now.
Yes, it is like, yes, we've come together and we can transmit the love of our heart flame to her. We could show her our heart flame, to bear it to her and to transmit our love to her, to make a stronger connection even than we have. And just to sit in the presence as we sit together like a flower that sits alongside a big tree. Just allowing a moment of stillness. And communing with her.
And it's so beautiful that you're in Australia. I feel a real gratitude in my heart that you are in Australia and outside of the cities and in a country, in a land where there's still people with a very deep connection to Earth that allows us to actually go there more deeply and more easily. And that is so special. And we have some of that, of course, also in New Zealand, but the whole land mass is quite different. So it's very beautiful to do this together. And I feel the indigenous wisdom kind of surrounding us and supporting us.
Mm. The indigenous elders that are now in the ancestral form inside the earth, many of them choosing to be there, are always supporting this connection to the Mother Earth. And they will always be there if you have this sincere intention. So can you repeat the question, Jayahnia?
How might we best travel through turbulent times, or what we perceive as turbulent times? And I am being shown like rivers, not just on the earth, rivers and waterways in the earth as well, where there's movement and dynamics and flow of life. And I saw also the ancestral indigenous beings, nodding, at the, they, of course, are ancestral beings and have seen a long time on Earth, and they have seen a lot of turbulences and storms and equivalents, but also, of course, sunshine, if we want to stay with that metaphor. So, and it seems to us as turbulent. And I think that is kind of important maybe to find out more about why I had to actually refine the question. So one of the things that Ocha and I learned in our self-mastery schools was to not only channel answers, we both learned to also channel questions. And that's why the question has actually slightly changed from the original wording, because there's more, sometimes the question can hold already more wisdom, and thus it will bring forth more wisdom if we follow the guidance in channeling questions. So, yeah, so maybe there's something about what seems turbulent to us humans and to you and me personally.
Change is a natural process of creation. It is the change that brings to you the opportunities to surrender and let go of any old ways of seeing or feeling or believing, beloved. You have lived a life where there has been a great rhythm. You have been sitting deeply and receiving. So much, and it is now time to be more out in the world. And the turbulent times, as you are calling them, are times merely of great change. But we say the love is infused inside of what is creating this change, beloved. For it is the great balance on the earth that is needing to be brought into a correction that is for the benefit and the blessings and the evolution of all life, including yours, Ocha, and Jayahnia's. Staying connected to nature, staying connected to our message to humanity through nature is what will stabilize you through this change and bring to you a new clarity and a new spontaneity, for humanity is learning to be spontaneous and not to rely so much on the linear plan, beloved. For the linear plan may not serve you in these changing, ever-changing times. And flexibility is needed, and the spontaneity of the child, to be more like the child, beloved, and to learn to play and to laugh. And then you will see more clearly what to do next as your body relaxes into a loving, playful, present moment. This is our guidance for you, beloved Ocha.
And when you're calling forth the playful child, all resonates inside of me. With the playfulness of the child comes the curiosity and the fascination of learning of the new. Like a child discovering their motoric skills, that they can grasp something. And they have these eyes of wonder and miracle when they discover that they can grasp something. And it is good for us to reconnect with this wonder of the new possibilities and more capabilities than we have previously seen in ourselves, just like we discovered that we can grasp with our hands. We have many more faculties as humans on this earth when we expand and we allow the expansion and we stay curious. And many of these we will remember. We already knew them as humans, as humanity. They are held in the field of information of the earth, in the libraries, if you want so. And it's like we're finding an old book in the libraries of the earth with faculties and capabilities that we had forgotten. And they feel just as exhilarating as when we discovered the grasping of our baby little hands. And to never forget that we're actually held by the mother, just like that little baby. Mother Gaia is holding us in this process of learning. But there was something flowing in you. Okay, what was flowing for you? Something was coming?
I was just seeing a stream of musical notes spiraling around us from the Earth Mother's heart, just musical notes, which is creation. Sound is creation. And so it is, she's just showing us the joy of creation, and to let joy inform us of our next step. This is the music of the spheres showing us the way.
Yeah, follow the joy has been, over the past weeks, has been a permanent injection of guidance. Follow the joy, follow the joy. And now that you say it, and now that we're with Mother Earth, I can see that's almost like a little signpost, because I'm so visual, but I see like a little signpost, like you're playing a video game and there's a signpost, there's the joy, right? And then you drive again and then it a news one, there's the joy, and you follow the path and you follow the path of joy. That is the divine path. That is the path that has the music and makes the heart sing. And if we follow that path, we're kind of on the, I don't want to call it a shortcut, but we're on the direct path, on the direct divine path. And we're not taking so many detours to discover that that wasn't it. So yeah, so joy is definitely, and we can feel that. I mean, making the heart sing from these spheres. And if there's no music feeling, it doesn't feel like there could be music. It's probably not the path. It's kind of a bit duller, or just not so charged with beauty and divine codes, if you want so.
Yeah. Yes. Well, perhaps you and I could do some sounding together this time.
Yep.
And we'll just sound with that spiraling through us. Yeah.
Ndo
Ya nama ye
naya 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 ne.
lama ye ya lama la la.
Uno ala e naga ne.
Da da gaeta.
Urukamaya te.
Ya lama mama.
Ndagara te akamaindi.
Wa 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 wa.
Isalaya mukanai.
Wa wa.
Ai
Shia
yasamata ka e.
hiya dara shia lama ma o an. Te ya ya le ya la ya la lo. Te ya la le ya le ya la le ho. Te ya le ya le ya
Amo. Ahei.
la la o la ya la lo.
Isana kaya talabua naiki.
Shia la ma ya la wa wa ya ne.
Nete atu surala kaya mai.
Shia na ma 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 wa ye ya.
Isiti aku tata ea mahi.
Ikaya luwa.
Itu sama kei.
Ikayuro wa ma ye na se andu.
Tatam tatambakum.
Yale anaroa. Uwale yarawa. Eya ya nanginga yoro wa mama.
Kudayana e da ea sala eni iku ma endi e.
Shwa, shwa, shwa.
You think the rainbow serpent that also came, the creator being, and curl herself around us, and this advice and wisdom we've received from the earthly realms. I bow with gratitude, real gratitude to all that have assembled actually, whilst we had set the intention of going to the earthly realm. Mm.
So I could just bathe in this light for quite a while, Jayahnia, and just receive the frequencies of these beings, as you say. The source frequency of the rainbow serpent mother, as she also brings and delights our tree of life to us. And she helps us to bring our awareness to that tree of life that takes us to the stars.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a golden tree of life. It's just growing through the center here of myself, but also between us, and embracing us. Like, it's beautiful. And a natural stream to come from the roots from the earth, with all that richness and nurturing, just growing up and up and up towards the light, just like every tree does.
Yeah. So I'm being taken up to a beautiful, like it's a beautiful starry temple. It looks like a ship of light. And it's a sacred space where I receive from my Syrian higher self. And I'm bringing my earth consciousness with me, because I've just expanded up. I haven't gone from the earth to the stars. I've just expanded out. And you have too, Jayahnia. So we're now all one, and we've come to this heavenly sacred space. Are you the same?
Yeah, the same. And I think sacred space is a really good word. It seems like a space that holds I'll call it a group consciousness, of groups of being with knowledge or advice or wisdom that we called forth through our intention. Our intention has created a call into the larger space, and our higher selves, like you say, they're holding this with our human selves on a higher level, and then somehow, yeah, wisdom gets attracted, or beings that, you know, they want to be there now. Just like the rainbow serpent came, there's other beings coming now in this sacred space. Now they're having a different viewpoint, of course, looking what we call turbulent times. They're looking down on onto turbulences from a very from a different perspective. But they reaffirm that this change happens everywhere in the cosmos. Change is just innate of the meaning of life. The term life includes change. So they're affirming what we've already received. And from this perspective in this sacred space, and for me, it looks, I can kind of look down on Earth a bit like from a spaceship perspective or something. Not quite as scientific, it's more etheric, but there's also I see kind of what we call turbulences are like waves or flowing movements, and I can see them go around the whole earth actually. So it's more like around the earth. I see more now onto the surface. And these, yeah, they are waves. It looks like waves, like the earth has a layer that is a wavy layer, a flowing layer. Like clouds float all around the earth. There's also another type of layer that's a flow layer. That's what I can call it best at the moment. That's how I see it. And there is a lot flowing. And they're saying again, it's global. It's not concerning one little part. And interesting enough, it unites us as we stand in front of global change. We stand united. Yeah, you go.
So I'm being shown the Earth is a part of the whole star system here, and that all of the stars are with the Earth. And just as the stars are with the Earth and supporting her, so they are with each of us, supporting us. And so it is equally important to connect to the heavens, to the stars, to sit on the earth with as little barrier between you and the earth as possible. And to connect to the stars and to let the stars remind me of this unity and support. As Jayahnia said, there is change occurring that is natural. And it happens all the time in the universe. And just to remember that we are so loved. We are so cared for. When we connect to the high consciousness. So it's important to take the time to tune into this higher consciousness, to let the mind receive this spiritual food. And we have to do this intentionally because there's a lot of distraction in our day-to-day life. And the stars are trying to reach us and teach us so much about ourselves and about my being, Ocha, Jayahnia, Sheehan. So it is important to take the time to really connect in, because that's where there's so much wisdom for our life. So I'm just being reminded of that, Jayahnia.
Mm. That is so true. And also, when you said the love and care, I have seen so often also with, individual people that I'm allowed to work with, how they have reconnected to their star families or light families, and the incredible love and honoring and care that is in these families for the beings that have chosen to go to Earth is tremendous, and it is beyond what we experience often on Earth. It's more pure. It's not tainted by ego and trauma and things like this. So it's very pure, and the guidance. And what I've also seen sometimes for myself is there are special guides and the stars, I will call it, that know us. They're like a bit like, they're not parents and they're not mentors, but they're kind of guides. And going to them, they know us particularly well, and they can teach us or guide us particularly well in the intricacies of our multi-dimensional being. And yeah, going there and receiving the love and receiving the guidance. And it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be a novel that we download, but sometimes it is an answer, just an answer, a yes or a no. But first we need to get out of these distractions and go there, calm our mind, and do what we've done now, and then connect with this higher guidance, our own higher guidance, really.
Yeah, because the frequencies are almost enough, aren't they? I mean, within the frequency, just that feeling that you get from this energy from the stars, it's like it holds the information in it that you already know. In your soul knows this language, the frequency, the feeling of it. And so in some ways, you may not always receive a message as words, but a message as energy, and you'll get completely energized. And it feels like it actually helps me to be at home here on the earth, to feel the support of the stars helps me to understand that my higher self is supporting me, because that's the starry nature of my being. And that is supporting me here on earth. We're not separate. And that helps me to unify inside.
And at the same time as you said that, I had just received exactly the same feeling. It was almost like I realized I was in the middle on earth, and there's all this love and care from below and all this love and care from above. And all I need to do as a human is really remember that, like take enough time out and maybe build a routine to remember that. And then calm comes over me, peace comes over me, and then clarity comes over me. And then I can hear these codes, or I can hear where the song of joy is playing. But if we're too busy, it's kind of, these are soft, caring tones. They're not loud, screaming voices. And so it's really helpful to start going into a calm space every so often. And the more often we do it, the quicker it'll be. We can drop into the calmness. And sometimes we're more disturbed, by what goes on around. It takes us a little bit longer. It takes us 15 minutes maybe to go there. But today we've done it really slowly for everyone to be able to follow into these two realms of love and care, really, to find our answers. And resting is important so that we actually remember these things, these behaviors. And they are behaviors of the future. I mean, if we're looking into the future and we're looking at turbulent times, which every future is a future of change, then coming to our center in the middle between heaven and earth, or the stars and earth, and between yesterday and tomorrow, which is in the now, And also for those who are familiar with it, with between the feminine and the masculine in the left and right, coming to this beautiful center and feeling the love and care that we are embedded in can give us access to the moment and the guidance of the moment and what needs to be done in every so-called turbulent moment after the other. It's really much simpler than we think. But for a human, this is not straightforward in the doing, in the practice, but it's straightforward as a mechanism in a way.
Yes, I agree.
It's how do they say? It's simple, but it's not easy.
So that's what I'm receiving today, is the main message to help me, Jayahnia. Is there a main message for you to help you in your life at the moment?
Yeah, I think the key one for me is remember the love and care, because the moment I remember that, somehow the rest starts falling into place. And I'm not used to that, also with my personal path of life, it wasn't always love and care around me. And I'm sure I'm not alone on the planet with this experience. So for us humans, and for me personally, to remember the love and care that I'm embedded in is a good step. And then trust my own guidance that emerges from that safe field. It's a field of safety, the love and care. Yeah. I think that would be the key. Feeling it, feeling up and feeling down.
We give thanks for this that we've received. And we know that soon we'll meet again, and that as time goes on, we feel the presence of the starry consciousness with us all the time.
In the mothers of the earth, the rainbow serpent mother, Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, and many mothers that live in the land beneath us, wherever we live, it's independent of the country or the continent.
Yeah. And so we're coming back into our bodies now. We're coming back into the room. It's like traveling down an elevator shaft again for me. It may be different for you, Jayahnia. But we know that with our intention, we've completed what we've received, and we give thanks to the heavens and to the earth for all that we've received today. It truly has helped.
And I also give thanks to you and to the us, the we, that we have created, that has created a more powerful or more wise, more lightful field by bringing two beings and their frequencies and their beautiful light codes that flow through us together. And saying thank you to the we as well.
Yes, I'm so grateful. Thank you, Jayahnia. It is amazing how we can get to that place of expansion and connection and Holy Communion so much faster sometimes, when we might be in a state of turbulence inside. I've been in a bit of turbulence inside myself, and to be able to come and share this with you. And we know that the group heart is always so much more powerful and quicker to get us there into that sacred space of being. So thank you so much for your childlike spontaneity. That's the new earth. And you are just truly being the new earth human.
And so are you. I mean, so connected to the earth, and you bringing your gifts and personality and codes, really. And I bring mine. And yeah, together they create magic beyond our own codes. It's like our codes start dancing with each other and create a new dance and a new song and a new melody. And it's true magic in the we. True magic and so much joy, so much joy. And we have deprived ourselves of this in our individualistic societies. And I'm so glad we're rediscovering it. So
we
glad.
are aligning truly to the age of Aquarius.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you, Jayahnia.
Oh, thank you very much. Across the Tasman pond. More water, more Aquarius, right? The Tasman pond that connects us. And I think it would be lovely if we allow people to understand a little bit more how we are and what we do, maybe in a kind of a sister interview or exchange where people can get to know us, because this was kind of, people were thrown into the deep end and just bomb traveling with us in a way. But allowing maybe also to understand, how did we get here? How did we get to this place where we can actually work in we consciousness? And how often have we seen each other? Maybe in person, I don't know, twice, but very fleeting, I'd say. And if you're on Zoom 3 times, not very long either. So this is not that we know each other deeply. This is not a human friendship.
That's right.
We have a sisterhood on another level, because we both worked for a long time on the balance of our yin and yang, if you want to call it that, on our self-mastery, on raising our frequency. And somehow in the raising of the frequency, we accessed we consciousness, and we can go beyond the ego, which can stand in the way of we consciousness. It doesn't stand in the way, but it can bring interferences in the we. And we can kind of keep that out. We learned that somehow. And that's why you could experience, everybody who's watching, and we could experience this we consciousness and the power of it. So it wasn't a direct path or a immediate awakening from yesterday to today. And we're happy to share that. How did we get there, and what would be maybe our takeaways from that journey?
Let's do that. Let's meet again soon.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So I will stop the recording, and we thank everybody who watched and listened up to this moment, and we honor you. And if you want to do the process again, you can stop at any time. And like Ocha was saying, if you like it in the earth, you can bathe there and just stop the recording and bathe there, as long as you need it and want it. And the same in the starry realms, you can go and stop there too, and maybe get your own questions answered. So this was just a little bit of a taste and a little bit of a help and service to everybody who can understand enough English to participate in this with us. So thank you.